everybody, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. And wow, this is a video I've been thinking about making for a little while now. As you can tell from the title, I graduated college, which is pretty wild to say. You can't really see it, but I'm wearing a Loyola Chicago alumni sweatshirt. I just got this new hoodie. My mom got it for me for graduation, along with some other goodies and trinkets, including, you can't see him, but this little guy, look at him. I haven't named him yet, but yeah, he just graduated as well. I don't know what major he had, but yeah, he just graduated from Loyola University of Chicago as well. We both did last week. He's got his little cap and gown. He's an undergrad graduate. Isn't that amazing? He's an undergrad graduate just like me. We're twinsies. He's the best. There we go. Now he's sort of in the background there. But yeah, if you guys have been a subscriber of this channel for the last few years, you might remember back in 2018, I did a video the week after I graduated high school all about it. I just titled it, I think, like thoughts on graduating high school or something like that. And so I wanted to do another one of those videos for after I graduated college, because looking back on that high school video, it's really fun to see what I said. I was kind of like reflecting on my high school experience. I was giving advice for other high school students at the time, and I was just kind of talking about what the future was gonna hold for me and all the exciting things. And yeah, it's 4 years later, which is crazy. I made that video, you know, in my childhood bedroom in Albany, New York, where I am from, where I grew up, went to high school. And now I'm here in my little studio apartment in Chicago, where, you know, I've been living in the city for the last 4 years for college. And yeah, I'm 22 now, which is wild. And yeah, a lot changes in the, you know, during that time period. So this video is probably going to be a little bit jumbled, just like my high school one was. So sorry about that in advance. You know, I tried to take some notes for this, but I also just kind of wanted it to feel very natural. So I'm really just going to talk a little bit about my college experience, kind of the lessons I've learned, my future plans, updates, and yeah, just reflect on the past 4 years and how they've been. So if that sounds like something you guys would like to listen to, then keep on watching. So yes, if you guys don't know, I went to Loyola University of Chicago. I have a little pennant right up here if you can see that. And I just got my Bachelor of Arts in Film and Digital Media. That was my major. And then I minored in Environmental Action and Leadership. These were two things that I picked going into it. So I did not like change my major. I didn't transfer. I stuck with it. Which is not, you know, for better or for worse. Like, people transfer, people change majors. That's a normal part of it. But I did stick with what I chose. I don't really know what other major I would have picked, except for maybe something in the environment field. But actually at the time, my college did not have an environmental school, and now they do, which I think is kind of interesting. But I still got to minor in environmental action and leadership. I got to take a lot of classes about the environment, about climate change, about policy, about cities and how they're built, and yeah, I learned a lot definitely from my minor, and I'm really glad that I did pick a minor and that I picked the minor that I did. A lot of people, when I tell them my major, they're like, ooh, how was film school? And you know, I went to a liberal arts school. I did not go to like a niche film school, and I'm very glad that I picked a liberal arts school. I really wanted like very well-rounded education, and I definitely feel like I got that. The actual film major itself, you know, reflecting on it, I'm glad I chose it. I really enjoyed my major. I did. I definitely excelled at it. I did really well. I graduated magna cum laude with a final GPA of 3.8, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that. Like, it's not the hardest major ever, I do realize, but like, I'm still proud of myself for that. I feel like I learned a lot. Definitely, I would say like the biggest thing was the people that I met in this major. Being a film major, I just feel like you meet a lot of cool artistic people, and not everybody in the major too like wanted to become like a film director, which I liked because I did not. I was really into editing. I went into school, if you watch my high school video, I was like, I want to be a film editor when I grow up. So that was like why I focused on that major, and my focus was editing. I knew I did not want to be a director. I didn't want to write. I really liked the editing and the technical side, and that did stay with me throughout the whole time. I was able to take like some post-production classes, which is really cool, and yeah, it was great. But like I said, like, people are there for many different reasons. Some people are focusing more on the digital media side of the major than the film side, which ironically I feel like by the end of it I did actually focus more on the digital media side. But I had to take a lot of normal film production classes, intro to audio and video, and they were all great. I would definitely say some of the more specific classes, the niche classes I took junior and senior year were great. My video doc class being one of them. My advanced post-production class was super fun. Then I took my capstone for this past semester where I made a podcast, which was super fun. Thank God I didn't have to make a film because I had already exhausted all my ideas. But I did really appreciate the creativity that I was given for a lot of these classes. I was able to make documentaries and little mini short films about things I was interested in, such as bands and the environment, which was really, really cool. So I'm really thankful that the school was able to give me a lot of creativity in that realm. Looking at college as a whole, I will say that I definitely encourage people to understand that like college is kind of what you make of it. And I had heard of this from my parents, I think, just because I went to a private high school, and so it was all about like getting into like really great schools that people knew of and like Ivy Leagues, and like that was not what I was going for, because with my major I wasn't going to try and get into an Ivy League, and I probably wouldn't have been able to get into one. But like people were so obsessed with where they went and like the name of the school that I think people lose sight of the fact that really like college is what you make of it. And I did end up going to my top choice. I loved Loyola when I visited it. I am so glad I chose Loyola. Like this, everything I say that's maybe critical is like really no hate to the school. That's not what this is about. Because I'm really, really glad that I picked Loyola for many, many reasons. But I definitely do say that like wherever you go, you have to put at least like, you know, 50% into it, I feel like. Like the school has to put in 50%, but you also need to put in 50%. Not just with doing the homework, but I think with like using the resources and kind of like using what the school has to offer you. And one of those things that I really got involved with was like clubs and student groups and things like that on campus. I was in a broadcast club that if you go back and watch some of my freshman year videos I talk about, called the Rambler Sports Locker, and I got to meet a lot of cool journalism students through that. I wasn't obviously a journalism major, but it was cool to meet people through that. And then I transferred over to the radio station my sophomore year, where I ended up being a DJ for the last 3 years of my experience in college. I was working there the last year, which was really great, and I got to meet so many people through that, have so many great experiences. Another club I was in was called Loyola Corps, which is like weird to say, but it was actually a music club that I don't know if I ever talked too much about on my channel, but it was really, really fun. I was in it very heavily my sophomore year because once COVID hit, like we couldn't really do clubs and stuff. It kind of died down, unfortunately, and a lot of people graduated, but my sophomore year, Loyola Corps was super fun. Meeting other people that had the same music tastes as me in Loyola Corps was so much fun, and shout out to my Loyola Corps squad. I was part of like the exec staff of Loyola Corps as well, but really like just talking to other people that had the same music taste as me, like going to shows with them. I have met like some of my best friends from Loyola Corps, and I am extremely grateful. There's so many moments now because I've met so many people from this one club. Like it's just, you know, if you look at the trail, it's just crazy. There's so many moments when I think back to freshman year in the spring. I was like walking out of my dining hall and there was a flyer on like a post in the middle of the lobby of my dining hall, and it just had a bunch of bands on it that I liked, like, you know, like, I don't know, Neck Deep, Knuckle Puck, MCR, like that kind of scene, you know. And at the bottom it was like, you like these bands? Come to this meeting for this club called Loyola Corps. And I literally like stopped in my tracks. I took a picture. I sent to like one of my friends that I knew. I was like, oh my God, I have to go. And God, I just think about the fact that like if I hadn't seen that flyer, or like if I hadn't gone to like that first meeting, like life could be so different now. And I know that sounds so dramatic, but like I've met like one of my best friends I met there, and like I wouldn't have gotten involved in so many other things if I hadn't met him. And like it's a wild time. So I don't know, it's just crazy, I guess, like the path when you reflect on these kind of things. Like, what if I hadn't done this? What if I hadn't done that? Like, you wouldn't have known the same people. I know this is like obvious, but it's just kind of funny to like look back on now, I think, as somebody who's graduated. And honestly, like I didn't have a ton of friends in college. Like I was not in Greek life or anything like that. So I didn't have like that kind of sisterhood or whatever, which was fine because I personally am not into that kind of thing. I never really had like a friend group in all of college, looking back on it, which kind of, I guess, maybe bugged me at some points, but I am thankful, I think, because I'm still like a very independent person, and I wasn't super close with my freshman roommates. You know, they're still close with each other. We kind of separated apart after freshman year, and then sophomore year I lived with Natalie, who you guys know, she's been in a few of my videos. She and I are still really good friends. She is still one of my like best friends from college, but I think she kind of relates with me on this, that she was a commuter the last 2 years, so that might be one of the reasons, but like she also doesn't really have like a friend group from college. I don't know, we're kind of similar in the sense that we just have like a bunch of really close friends from different things, like from classes and from jobs. I also worked for Phonathon, Loyola's Phonathon, where we call alumni and raise money for the school. I worked for them for the first 2-ish years of college, right up until COVID hit, and met a really good friend working there who I'm still very good friends with. So I've just met a bunch of people through different things. I don't have like one solid group. Like I did in high school, you know, I had kind of like my friend group in high school that I would do everything with. And I think having that change in college of not having that was not a bad thing. And I think initially I was afraid, especially when you first go to school, like, oh, if you don't have friends, a big group right away to do everything with, like, oh, your experience is gonna suck. But I'm actually really grateful for the little like small friendships that I did have in college, just because like I was also so busy in college. For most of college I worked 2 jobs, so I was just very busy. I was doing YouTube and school, and like I really took my academics very seriously, and I was going to a lot of concerts. Like I was a busy gal. I like to stay busy, so it didn't really bother me that I didn't have like a group that was wanted to do things like every weekend. I'm not a huge partier, you know, that was not my college experience. Though I did like obviously drink and like have fun with friends. It was just like wasn't a weekly thing, and I think that's okay, because that was really, I don't know if I would have enjoyed that, I guess is my point. But yeah, I'm very thankful for those like very close friendships that I did make, and you know, a bunch of those people are moving away from Chicago, unfortunately, but a lot are staying, which is great. So I hope to really continue those friendships, you know, for years to come, because I'm staying in this city. Another thing I don't think I would be connected to if not for college is the band Wolf Road, which you guys know, I've talked about them since my sophomore year. They are a band from the suburbs who I run merch for. I've been running merch for them since their first ever show, which was back in November of 2019. I've been super connected to the band and the members of this band for the last, you know, almost 3 years, which is crazy. And they're just getting bigger and bigger. And I actually was at one of their shows a few weeks ago, and being at their merch table, like being there from the very beginning and just like seeing how they're growing with a bunch of new fans is super exciting. But that's been a really, really cool experience. I've met so many people through that, like in the scene, and their friends, and just so, yeah, so many people in the scene, being very well connected there because of that. And like, that's another thing that without connecting with certain people in college, I would not be a part of, you know, like that band and that little like family, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So something else I'm very thankful for. So yeah, I guess the point of this little friendship ramble is just to put yourself out there in terms of getting involved in clubs, I guess would be a piece of advice that I would have, like a big one for college, just because that's the main way that I met people, met like really close friends, was through either campus jobs or campus clubs, like being involved. And maybe that's not for everybody. Some people, they like the Greek life and that's how they want to make their friends, and that's totally fine. But for me, it was clubs. And looking back, I'm very thankful that I joined those clubs and put myself out there in that way, because I do have some really, really great friends that I'm very grateful for. Another thing, like I said, you know, academics are really, really important to me, and school was exhausting. Like, I'm just happy to be done. And that sounds bad, but like, I don't have any plans as of now to be going to grad school, if anyone's wondering. Maybe he'll turn into a master's bear one day. I'm sure they sell master's bears. But for right now, we're a bachelor squad. Yeah, I just don't have a ton of plans to go to grad school because I'm just done with school. I have that mentality right now. That might sound bad to some of you guys, but I am tired. Like, I've been in school for 19 years of my life, I think, or something like that, and school is exhausting. Like, especially keeping up with high GPA. Like, I really strive to get A's in every class. I had straight A's for basically the last 2 years of college, which I was really proud of. But like that did not come easy. Like I was busting my butt, still working 2 jobs for like the last year and a half. So it's just, I'm ready to actually like have a real job and make some coin and like put the effort towards that. Also just ready for a change. And a bunch of people too that have asked me if I'm going to grad school. Because of my major and everything, I don't know what I would go for. I mean, that's another big reason. Like, there isn't really a logical next step for me for what I would want to study. So I don't know. Never say never for grad school, because if I need it, or like if an employer was willing to pay for me to go back to school, I would, you know. But right now, you know, I don't want to be a film director, so there's no point going to do like a master's of film. Loyola has a master's of digital media and storytelling, and yeah, I don't want to be a director, so that wouldn't apply to me. I wouldn't want to do that. So yeah, I think the logical next step for me is work, which I do have a job lined up. I'm not sure how much information I guess I want to give out about the job yet, because it hasn't started. It's a new company. I'm sure if you do some digging, you can probably find out where I'm going to work. I'm not going to be like super secretive with it. I am really excited about the company. I do think it's a really great thing, but I'll probably save me talking about that for future videos. But it is in the plant-based world, which I'm really excited about because I've gotten super into that the last 2 years with my current job. I'm actually working for the same boss, and she started a new company, which I'm going to be working for starting June 1st remotely, which I'm super excited about. I really wanted a remote job, and I'm so excited that this is remote because that will give me more flexibility to do things I love, like YouTube. Also, I'm really into running, and so I want time to like be able to work out and run every day, you know, little things like that. I've noticed from having that time of doing school from home that I actually work really well remotely. Like, I think it's really good for somebody like me who just wants to like be in her own little bubble, in her own little space. Like, I'm very efficient that way, I've noticed. So I think working from home will be really good for me. But yeah, that starts in June for a plant-based company. And I'm gonna be doing, honestly, like digital media stuff for them. Not as much film, though I have been doing some video and audio editing for them in certain aspects in the past few years already. But I will be doing more digital media and marketing, social media marketing, things like that, which is exciting. Obviously, like, I didn't go to school for marketing, so there's things I have to learn. I did take a marketing class this last semester though, which I did, you know, learn a bit. But yeah, I'm excited to learn a lot in this job and get very involved in the plant-based sector because I think it's a really, really important area right now for our future. So yes, I have a job, which is exciting. I really was hoping to have a job lined up because I'm somebody that like security, and I like stability. As movements might say, security and stability is not worth it if it's a desk job. But guess what? I won't have a desk job, sweetie. I don't know, is a remote job not a desk job because it's my own desk, or is that still a desk job? I don't know. But it's like my own hours. It's not like 9 to 5 basically, so that's kind of nice. Little movements reference for y'all. But yes, so I'm excited that I will have a job lined up. I'm sorry, 18-year-old self. I am not a film editor. I'm sorry. Don't know if I will be. I know my little dream was always to move to LA. I still haven't been to LA. I would like to visit it, although you guys heard I'm staying here. I love Chicago. You know, I was so excited to go to school here and to move here 4 years ago, and I have fallen in love with the city in so many ways. I mean, I already loved it because I had grown up visiting here a lot, but I fell in love with it so much more by living here. I live, you know, right downtown. I've lived downtown for the last 2 years, which has been amazing. I'm actually going to be moving to a bigger place in August, so moving vlog will be coming up in a few months. I'm going to be moving in with a roommate, which is exciting because right now I don't have a roommate, and I haven't had a roommate for a few years, so I'll have a roommate again, which will be exciting. We're moving into a really nice place in the same area, and I'm just super excited to be staying in this city, downtown. I mean, the music scene, I looked it up, guys. I've gone to 84 shows in my college lifetime. Like, that's crazy. 84 concerts because everybody comes here and it's amazing. So I love living here. I love the music scene. I'm still continuously meeting so many new people too, which has been so fun. I hope that doesn't end. I know, you know, going from college, a lot of people are like, how do I meet new people now? And I think that just, you know, continuing to stay social in ways that I can, especially with continuing to help out with Wolf Road will allow me to meet other people in the scene. And I still want to do video stuff for fun, including YouTube, including they were supposed to go on tour in 2020 and I was gonna make a bunch of cool tour videos for them, and also for my YouTube channel, like just for fun. You know, even though I'm not becoming like a film editor, I still learned so much about video and audio and editing and everything in my major, and I definitely want to continue to apply that to things that I create, like things on my YouTube channel, because I still consider myself a creative person and I still love creating videos in many ways, podcasts as well. So I definitely want to, you know, use my skills in different ways, like for my YouTube channel, and just creating fun things and continuing to be creative even outside of work is a goal of mine. But yes, I'm very excited that I will be staying here in Chicago for work, and also having a remote job means it's easier for me to go home and visit my family back in New York. I can just bring my laptop with me and do my work from wherever, which I'm really thankful for. And yeah, the last week has been amazing with my family flying in for graduation. I said this 4 years ago, you know, I felt a lot of love in the last week, and I felt love for my high school graduation. I felt a lot of love for my college graduation. I didn't have as much extended family here because, you know, aunts and uncles from New York and stuff couldn't fly in, which is fine. But I did have my grandparents here help me celebrate, and my parents flew in, which was super fun. I also got to celebrate with my boyfriend, which is still weird to say because I spent the majority of my college years single. Like, it got to a point where I did not think that I would be dating anybody in my college career. As a freshman, I went into college being like, oh my god, this is my time to meet people and I'll finally date someone. I'll finally have a real boyfriend. I'll finally, like, or girlfriend, whatever. Like, I'll finally date somebody. Oh my god. And I learned a lot freshman year about myself in terms of dating and relationships and all that kind of stuff, hookup culture. I can make a whole separate video on that shiz. But basically learned that, like, I was not at all mentally ready for a relationship. You know, I got hurt along the way, whatever. I went through my ups and my downs. But I learned so much about myself, and looking back on it, even though it took a bunch of years and I was not, you know, in a great relationship for a lot of college, it was a good thing. Like, looking back on it, everything happens for a reason, or just the timing, you know. Like, now I'm in a super great relationship that I'm very thankful for, and this is like my first real relationship, and yeah, it didn't come until I was 21, which is totally fine and like totally worth the wait. But my parents joke that, like, yeah, you're not gonna have a significant other at your graduation. Like, I didn't think so either. And no, yeah, senior year, it happened. Which is crazy and fun. So yeah, that's also something else too, that, like, you know, you learn a lot about yourself in college with friends, but you also learn a lot about what you're looking for in a relationship. And you look back and realize that the times when you thought you, like, needed one, you actually were not even close to being ready. And it's ironic as they say, but when you stop looking, it happens. And it happened to me that way. So, but yeah, so my point is, like, I didn't think that was gonna happen either, and ending up having a boyfriend to celebrate my graduation with was amazing, very memorable, like something that I will cherish forever, having him there. But yes, having him there with my grandparents and my parents, like everyone together celebrating my graduation, just meant so much to me, and I'm extremely grateful for my support system, obviously. My parents have been with me through the ups and the downs through this whole college journey, which has been extra weird because of COVID, you know, but I'm very grateful for them and all their support, and you know, allowing me to go to school. They allowed me to graduate debt-free, which is like unheard of in this day and age, so I am extremely grateful for that. And just very grateful to have gotten this experience. You know, I caught myself complaining a lot throughout college, and I tried not to, because I know that higher education is so much more expensive than it should be and is a privilege, and so I'm very grateful that I got the experience to go to school and to get my degree. And yeah, also with COVID, my graduation still ended up being able to be in person, which I was super thankful for, because class of 2020 and 2021 at my school had an online graduation, and we were finally able to have it in person, which was amazing to be there next to actually a classmate that I knew all the way from freshman year, which was super cool. We ended up staying next to each other throughout it, and just being able to be on campus for a bunch of the on-campus, like, in-person celebration events leading up to graduation day, which was great. And I'm very grateful that things ended up working out, and my last year was pretty normal. I mean, we had to wear masks in class and stuff, you know, and you had to get tested, whatever, but like, I'm grateful that I was able to be back in the classroom for my final year of school, and I'm grateful that all the celebrations got to be in person. But yeah, I want to thank you all also so much for just kind of being, you know, a constant in my life throughout college. You guys have been a constant since like freshman year of high school, but I'm really proud of myself that I was able to keep up with YouTube and continue this channel throughout all of college. You know, my uploading schedule definitely fluctuated, but you know, still, I kept making videos and I stuck to it, and you guys have always been a very important part of my life, and making videos has always been something that I hope to continue have it a constant in my life, because it was really great to have all these great memories, look back from videos from my freshman year in my dorm room, and then my move-in video, you know, into my apartment style dorm, and then my move into here, and like going through COVID, and it just is great to have it all documented. And also I remembered today that I remember fall of my freshman year, I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I was super excited about it. And now 4 years later, I'm about to hit 1,500 subscribers. I'm like 3 away, so please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm really close. But yeah, even in college, you know, with a busy schedule, being able to still gain like 500 subscribers in the last 4 years means a lot to me. So I just want to say thank you. And I hope that you guys will continue to stick with me on this new journey into like a new part of adulthood, where I am now going to be working a full-time job. I'm gonna be living in a bigger apartment. I'm gonna have a roommate, staying in Chicago. Like, this is a new chapter of my life, which is crazy, and I'm so excited to continue to share it with you and have you guys be a part of it, continue to document it. And yeah, I'm just very grateful and very excited to continue to take you guys along for the ride. But that is about the end of this video. I'm sure I've talked long enough. Sorry if this video, like I said, was all over the place and rambly, but I really wanted to just talk about this, do another reflection video, really to have it to look back on, I think is fun. You know, we'll see where this new job takes me. Like, my career is starting now, which is exciting. And we'll see where I am in another few years. Who knows? Maybe I'll have another big update video. But yeah, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you guys do want any more like college advice videos, or if there's a topic that I touched on in this video that you guys would like me to talk about deeper, like dating and stuff, you know, I said I could talk a lot more about that if you want me to, or even more about friendships or classes and clubs and meeting people now that I've been through it. I would love to answer any questions you guys have, or do a separate college advice video if that's something you guys would like. Let me know in the comments down below. Ask your questions. Let me know if you guys would like that. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!